Hello, hello. We are back with, I was going to say Terranalius. Nope. Anno Domini. And, yeah, we're going to have some contests with sprites, I guess.
What are we doing? We should have challenged them to dominoes. It's Domini. Come on.
Anno Dominos.
Anyways, sorry.
So, yeah, I mean, what order are we going to do these in? We can do them in any order. Who would like to go first?
I have my lies ready.
I mean, I feel like
you guys have to go first. Yeah, Lisig and Lisig and
oh right, because you're betting. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Lisig and Lineth.
It doesn't really make sense if you bet.
So even if I bet that one of the sprites wins a contest, if I get that bet right, then if I win that bet,
so there's three. There's three contests that are gonna happen like outside of you guys, right? And so you're gonna bet on each of them, and if for each one you win, that's 1 point again for you in the betting pool. And if you get 2 out of 3, then you win, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's just up to you as to how you want to play this, right? Like, because you could. I mean, the logical thing would be to. I mean, one of the logical options would be to just bet on all of your party members, so that no matter what. But if they fail, like, there's a weird
Here's the thing. Everyone else is going to come down to a skill roll. So do we want to just, instead of having, like, putting this on Carly, do we want to have her make a roll, and if she wins, then she picks the right person? Do we want to do that?
That's another way we do it.
It's actually pick somebody and have it be a character.
We could do it either way. It depends what you prefer.
I'm good with either way. I know who she's betting on already.
What's your deception score, David?
4.
Well, yeah, if you already have an idea, then let's just do it that way. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't have it trained, but I have a +4.
So who are you betting on?
So for the magical weapon trivia, she's definitely voting for Ulrich. She has noticed his enthusiasm for the subject before.
Right.
For the two truths and a lie, she definitely doesn't think Erastus is gonna do good on this.
Your lack of faith is disturbing.
And for the drink mixing, she definitely thinks that Stonen is gonna win.
Okay, so you're.
Wow.
Like usual, Erastus gets the short straw.
I understand your lack of faith in me, but Erastus is supposed to be good.
I love how the joke has already been like Erastus is just a failure at everything.
And the worst is like he has the best stats in the group. I just can't roll more than a 5.
He totally does, yeah.
It's really annoying.
Welcome to Cantarius.
It's like Wester.
Yeah.
David.
This is your Cantarius character.
Erastus is gonna die, and then your next character is gonna have horrible stats, and then he's gonna live forever.
It's exactly.
Yep. That's how it's gonna be. Okay, so Lineth is going to bet on she's gonna bet on Gwalter over Donan because she's seen Gwalter make drinks before. And then she's gonna vote on Sedwin over Ulrich because she's like I've heard him talk about like these magic weapons for forever. Like apparently Sedwin is also like a magic weapon enthusiast. But she votes on Erastus. She bets on Erastus over Nesta. And I think you get the
you better lose.
Right. Well, I think
it's better for me to win because I'm gonna get a point as opposed to you getting a third of a point.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Sorry.
So and I think you get the impression, Lisig, that she doesn't like Nesta. There's some sort of feud going on there.
That's my advantage.
Yeah.
Jeez,
So
girl, savage.
yeah, that's what the bet's gonna be. Well, here let's write that down so we remember.
It's not my near godlike level of charisma that makes her bet on me.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy. It's just they're both
Let's
just
see.
voting the opposite.
Oh, that's true. I guess
remember it.
they voted the opposite. Everyone voted
Yeah.
the opposite. Okay, yeah, we're good then. Yeah. I didn't do that intentionally. I just. Okay, cool. So. Yeah, which one of the three of you wants to go first?
Mad at me.
I'll brew some decent drink.
Okay, Donan, let's start with you. So
Thanks.
how does Donan go about this? Like, you guys go into the kitchen, I guess. And this is like a situation where like everyone is there. Like, we have to do these one at a time to like see what the contest is.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys go into the kitchen, and Gwalter right away just like like goes over to, and this is the thing. This guy is like loaded with stuff. Whoever lived here before had so many options for like food and beverages and like whatever. So like there's a lot of stuff to like work with here.
This is great.
Lisig's like, if this is what his kitchen looks like, what else is there for me to steal here?
It's true. Yeah.
It's not even stealing anymore. It's looting
So the
now.
thing that you get a feel for though, Donan, right away is that Gwalter's been here a little bit. So he's more familiar with all the ingredients in the kitchen than you are. So that's
more
one thing
familiar with what's available, sure.
It's true.
So I'll just have the disadvantage in that I'll have to rummage through cupboards a bit more.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if he gets too much in my way, I can just zap him a bit. And
so
I don't know if he can take the just random extra damage that it'll get by just hitting me.
it's true. It's true.
So I don't think I'm concerned.
So I think what we're gonna do for this, how do you prepare, Donan?
Pots and pans, gathering stuff, muttering, thinking. Just in general, prepping to cook something. Like there's no rocket science to it.
So I think what happens is Gwalter like snaps his fingers, and suddenly there is a vine that was kind of like growing in the window, just like snaps out and starts like grabbing things for him and like moving things around. And suddenly there's like a whole bunch of vines that just kind of creep into the kitchen and start like moving things around, mixing things for him, and he's just like orchestrating this like vine string ensemble, right? Basically.
This is going to be an episode of Great British Bake Off, and I'm going to be the sympathy vote, aren't I?
Yep.
Lisig looks at her own arm and frowns.
A good sponge. Sorry. It's like the most said thing in the show.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
So I think what we're going to do here, Donan, you have a like proficiency in this, correct? So feel free to roll that with, I believe it's intelligence is what this is. I don't think it would be anything else.
No.
How do you brew things other than like knowing about how to brew things?
With strength. One must be strong to understand the ways of brewing.
So, leading up to this roll, I think there can be like linked tests, as it were, if you would like, right? Like to try to do something to give yourself advantage or whatever, right? Like,
Hey, so just to confirm, we learned that the sprites are the ones that did this to the village last session, right?
They've neither confirmed nor denied that they said Lord Oberon is responsible. I mean, they did a part of it, but whether or not they like literally like stole all the villagers away themselves has not been confirmed.
They also admitted to killing, well, sort of admitted to killing the guard.
They did kill the guard, yeah.
Yeah, we're dealing with a bunch of tiny little killers here.
Yeah.
All the more reason to make an excellent beer. If you're going to be killed by tiny little killers who are salty about losing the contest, what better way to do it than completely sloshed?
Yeah.
No. No, that's actually very incorrect. Don't do drinks, kids.
Don't do drinks, kids.
Oh
boy. So yeah, what's Domin's lead up to this? Does he do anything else, or is this just a roll? This is just
I guess I'm not sure what all I can do as a sort of linked test. Yeah. Like,
and if nothing comes to mind, that's fine. I just wanted to throw it out.
No, in terms of like, I don't know mechanically what's allowable.
I mean, that's not technically a mechanic, so.
I mean, you can look at skill. You can look at your skills. You could think about what would be in a kitchen. You can try to come up with something. You could certainly just make like a history check, right? Of like that could be a thing.
I mean,
But now if he fails this,
I could make a medicine check, yeah?
Yeah. Sure.
Because I know what's good and what's,
Yes.
nice.
just the right amount of intoxicating to be fun without
Right,
being,
right, sure.
without being like slamming vodka because vodka,
Yeah.
You gotta
Oh, man,
balance
but
the
you've had
intoxication
some-
with the flavors.
But Donan, you've had some really good Russian dwarf vodka in your time. That is, yeah.
No.
Or maybe you haven't.
It doesn't care for that.
Okay. I mean, there
That's
is
It's
some
just
really,
fermented potatoes.
yeah,
That's about as close to pure ethanol as you can get.
yeah, and I'm sure Darius Castrovet would be very sad with you right now, very, very distressed.
Is they
Hey, Caleb, I
dwarf.
speak Sylvan, right?
Sylvan?
I speak the language of these.
Yeah, you can speak
Right,
them.
don't
Speak Sylvan? Why?
That's great.
Because
So
he
can I
worked with
make
a
a,
wizard for years.
Can I make a medicine roll to help
Mhm.
this then?
So if he fails this, does he get disadvantage?
Depends on
If
how,
so, then I
how
don't
much
know
he
if it
fails by.
Oh, okay.
Why? Do you have a do you not have faith in my +5?
Well, I'm just wondering if.
Okay, so I think neither way, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just a base like no help or no hindrance here. So
Because if your roll with the kit was higher, then it might have just been safer to roll that instead if your medicine was low. But I didn't know what your medicine was.
I don't think that my roll with the kit is going to be quite as high as the +5 for my medicine, to be honest.
If it's
I
with
don't.
intelligence, then it won't be
Yeah, Caleb.
3, I think.
Don't make me roll against the stat that I don't like.
sorry.
I mean, you should have
You're not though.
challenged him to an
Nope,
arm
I'm
wrestling
not.
match that he could use strength.
Yeah, because that he totally would have like.
Yeah, he would
you
definitely
accepted
agree to
that.
that.
Use his whole body, and you get to use your arm.
With their strength of 3.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, wouldn't have been accepted. Okay.
Holy crap! How do they move and not break
I
themselves?
mean,
Whatever.
couldn't an argument be made for wisdom? That brewing's less of a precise art of numbers and calculations so much as it is knowing your audience, knowing who's around you and how to, just a little bit more of this
Yeah.
and a dash of that.
Question:
And
Who's going to
you
be
know.
judging which is the best one?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, probably all of you,
I
right?
didn't know.
All the rest of you are gonna drink it.
Wouldn't we just say his and they would say theirs?
Yeah.
Or does that have to be blind?
I mean, I think that's
I
what the
think it's
bar is.
blindfolded test, right?
Or, yeah, I mean, we could also do a double blind, but I was thinking the bar is to see if we can overcome our innate racial prejudices to both agree on the fact that my drink is just objectively better.
Yeah, or they could just drink them and whoever passes out first wins. But I guess that doesn't sing the
No.
quality of beer.
I think it's gonna be like a blindfold taste
Okay.
from all of you.
In which case,
So
then I do
wisdom
actually-
would tell me that I'm wanting to go for more aroma than I am straight flavor, because when you're blindfolded, the aroma does become more of a big deal.
Also, if you do obvious dwarven beer, then they're not going to pick it, right? Because they're going to like, oh, this is dwarven, so it's obviously not our guys.
Mhm.
So there's also that. I feel like that does make sense with wisdom.
And then
I
can we
think so
get
too,
a bit of
yeah.
a flashback in Donan's life in order to...
Oh yeah, get inspiration. Sure. Yeah, tell us about your beer making
Nice.
skills.
So
I mean, because you have the proficiency, right? So you've obviously done
Yeah.
this before.
we see Donan and a rather wizened old man, and they're in a like a smaller outbuilding of sorts, and there's like distillery equipment and brewing barrels and all sorts of other brewers tools, paraphernalia, and this old man is explaining and showing to Donan what goes into crafting fine beverages. We can, you get the sense of warmth and happiness. This is one of the most significantly positive things of younger Donan's life. Is the time he gets to spend with this old man brewing.
Awesome. Into it. Take that inspiration, my friend. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a intelligence roll for him real quick. because he's gonna make this is his investigation beforehand. Like, so he's like his knowledge of the kitchen already is gonna be tested here, and he might be able to like get advantage or whatever on this.
Okay. I don't like when NPCs can have advantage.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it will be. I'll just give him. Let's see, 16.
I mean, I think it's probably fair to just set an or like a goal, a DC. This is
DC. Yeah.
Sorry, this is
Literally a
DD.
District of Columbia. So.
And like for all of the roles that will be happening here, so that we can.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think DC 15 is probably a good standard DC. So let's say that. That makes sense.
I mean,
okay.
17. It should be 17.
No.
Because he has 16.
I mean, we can set this now if you want to.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're both gonna roll with advantage here.
Okay.
Because he has the advantage of
his home turf.
Yeah, this is his home turf now. But you have not only been very familiar with brewing before, but also, I mean, you're inspired. And
there's goats out here. We should have done a goat race.
Yeah, that could have been a thing.
Some interesting goat's milk beverages you could craft too.
I feel like the Fae would definitely have an advantage though.
Well, I mean, they can't fly if they're sitting on a goat. So.
Yeah, Leasing. Oh, that's what it should have been. Leasing and Linus should have done a goat race.
I like the.
Yeah, no, I like it better.
It's better, yeah.
The mutual apathy.
Yep.
Your character, every time your character's rogue and it kills me. Oh no, you're I keep forgetting you're a.
She's a druid.
He's just a very angsty druid.
I know. It's great. Yeah,
okay, so so you can go ahead and roll your proficiency twice. You'll have to do it twice because I don't think the roll, or maybe I don't know. Go ahead and roll it first and we'll just see. I don't know for sure, but you can roll it with wisdom. It should give you a query. Okay, there you go. So you got a 19.
Hey.
I'm gonna roll this twice for him because I don't have that skill here. Okay, so
by 1.
Oh, I guess no, it already does it. So yeah, it would have been 17 then. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Yep.
Either way, I mean, he rolled 4 times. You still beat him.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you undeniably make the better brew.
Nice.
So what is it? I mean, what does it taste like? As everyone is drinking it, what does it taste like, Donan?
I think it's got a very strong body to it. The base is definitely Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the sort of the really strong, nasal flavor, or not nasal, but the really strong flavor of the Scotch. But it's spiced and it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
He's heated it over the fire, and so it's a very well-rounded beverage. And I don't do this in real life, so I'm like
making it up. Yeah.
Jeez, in advance.
So far.
Scotch is not supposed to be used in this way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I don't do this in real life. The most exotic I've ever gotten is a Captain and Coke. So
I mean, so you totally convinced me, Josh, by your description that you actually knew what you were talking about. So
I just know the words and the terminology.
The only people that would have noticed is our maybe 2 listeners who maybe.
And then the viewers that have been like, "But that's not how you're supposed to do it," and I'll be like, "Yeah."
Yep.
But... Oh well.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, all of you I think everyone around, like across the board, just undeniably picks Donans. And it's not. I mean, it's not that.
It's the flavor of home and happiness.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that the other guys wasn't good. It was good, but like it was just like Donan's was a notch better, and everybody agrees. And I think afterwards, Gwalter goes over to you, and he reaches out a hand, like a very tiny hand, and he's like standing on a table next to you, and he's just like, he says,
you put up a good fight. It was a pleasure brewing with you.
And yours was delightful.
You're just saying that.
Heck, this is so weird.
How did you get that delicate upper flavor? There were 4
Well, it's
strategies.
an old recipe from my mother. It goes back 20, 30 years.
"Ooh,
It's
I totally thought you were
learned it from a magical a blink dog, they call him. Teleporting dog.
What's a teleporting dog got to use for a drink such as this?
I wondered that too, but apparently dogs like beer too.
Well, you have to ask. Was that lemon? Or
Just a little bit of lemon. I was wondering if you would notice.
what was lemon? Well, it could have been bergamot, but it was a little sweet to be bergamot.
It was a little sweet. Yeah. See, everyone always mixes the two.
It wasn't dog pee.
Does Ulrich say that?
When you said there was a special thing, I was like, is it Sprite pee? Magical.
No.
Anyways,
They have some dignity.
Lovely, David.
thanks. I mean, that's why I didn't say it, but when Connor said it,
Connor set the bar.
I then
You're welcome. Dave.
Yeah, so that happens. And this is, like Walter's definitely like very like a good sport about it, right? It seems like Sedgwin and Nesta are kind of like, okay, wait a second, there's already one against us. I don't like this. And so wait, who voted on who? You voted on Donan, Lisa?
Yeah, I voted for
So that's
Donan.
one point for you. Yeah.
nice.
Okay, who would like to go
Two
next?
technically.
Ulrich or Erastus?
2 for all of us.
I'm up for it.
Right.
Good.
Okay. So you and Sedwin are you guys like sit, so we see like quick shots of you guys like sitting down at the table and like staring across from each other. He's like sitting on a candle, I think, like looking at you like intently, and then he kind of like is thinking to himself. And so I think I'm trying to think of the way we would do this one. Obviously these are like history or arcana checks depending.
Might be
yeah.
make a history like one as a linked test kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that history is probably the main one. But let's do this. Let's just do like an arcana test for each of you first to see who knows more about magical stuff in this. Just as like a link test,
Okay.
right?
So definitely give me some inspiration for the first
Okay,
time.
sure, yeah.
So we see Ulrich just poring over books
Mm-hmm.
today. Just he's like a young boy. He's like, I don't know. He's probably what was he, 9? I think.
Yeah.
He's 9 and he's sitting in the library and he's poring over books. He's looking at all these different magical weapons and stuff like that. And his parents come in the room and they're like, look, Ulrich, we have something we have to tell you. You see, your father and I, we have to leave the city. We have to go and, I don't know. What did my dad do? He was probably, he was a nobleman, so.
Was your dad given like was your dad in the army?
No.
You're a wizard,
Well-
Ulrich.
No, honestly, he might have been.
Yeah, right. Maybe he was like got like a commission or something. Maybe he was a navyman. Maybe he was like a captain of a ship.
Mariner.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
okay,
and
there
like
you
he
go.
got called away. And so your mother was gonna go live at like the port that like they would be based in,
Right.
right?
So,
He'd be
we're
like
going
catching
to
pirates
leave.
and things.
Well, no, no, that's not what it was. No, that can't be what it is. No, it's literally a thing of, he was in the army and he got a position, to not be in the army, to like be like an
Right.
advisor or
Okay.
something like that.
Maybe he got
And,
to train the people instead of actually attacking.
No, he's gonna be like an advisor, like
Oh,
like
Like a general.
somebody who doesn't have to fight, not a general. Yeah, advisor to a general. And so they were just gonna
Practitioner.
go and move to like a bigger city. And he was like, "So that's it. We're going to be moving next week." And Ulrich is just like, I don't know. Can I just stay with Quelnescent?
Wow.
What? Do you want to stay with the wizard? Well, yeah, he's kind of teaching me and training me in all these different ways. I think I could learn a lot more from him.
Ouch.
Little Ulrich was
Wait, how old
vicious.
is
9.
Oh,
9-year-old Ulrich.
Yeah, little 9-year-old.
Also totally cool with abandoning his parents.
oh my
That's cool.
god.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, Well, I mean, sure. I mean, we have your brothers. I mean,
We don't need you.
They can carry on your family line.
Oh man.
And the dad is like, yeah, let the kid do whatever he wants. He's never home anyway. And Ulrich just nods. All right, I'll stay with Quell and Yesent. Actually, hey, Quell? Yes? Hey, Quell, can I stay with you for the rest of my life? Yeah, sure, kid. As long as it's okay with your parents.
Is this like telepathy that's happening?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh yes, will you marry me? I say, oh, sorry.
Yeah, Quell's okay with it.
That's amazing.
I love it.
And then little Quell is little Ulrich is the best.
Yeah.
That's fun, yeah. Little Ulrich is like the coolest kid ever. So then the parents are pretty much just like, all right, and they just leave him.
Oh god.
Yeah, no. So to give you a little bit of well, no, I'm not gonna give you any more background. You guys can think that more. That's
Yeah,
fine.
don't do that. You gotta
Yeah,
do
I gotta do more inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, take that inspiration, dude.
All right. Crap.
Oh.
So, I mean, it doesn't go any worse. Get any worse for you. So.
Yeah. Oh good, this wasn't your actual roll. Alright,
No.
never mind. Wait, yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait. No, it was, right? You weren't making a linked roll, you were just making
No, this is the linked roll for the main roll. History is the roll they're gonna be.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like history of magic weapons, basically, right? So, this is gonna be his. Let's see.
David, out of curiosity, what alignment are you?
Alignment?
Yeah.
I just messed up your overlays. I'm sorry.
It's right. I'm switching around right now. It's all good.
I'm lawful good. Or probably neutral good, since we're like originally I was gonna be lawful good, but we're like Robin Hood, so I should probably be either neutral or chaotic good.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Wait, so you're lawful good?
No, neutral.
You know what? Chaotic good sounds more fun. I'm gonna do that.
All right. I was just looking at the character sheets because I was curious, and Lisig and Donan are both neutral good, and yours.
Yeah.
Weird.
What do you all reckon? Neutral good?
Yeah, just non-neutral.
Oh, just neutral?
Pure neutral.
Yep.
The D&D stereotype, pure neutral. Not that that's a bad thing. Just
What? That's not the stereotype. A chaotic neutral has always been the stereotype.
Chaotic neutral as an acceptable member of the party is a D&D stereotype.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. I guess.
Almost everyone in Savage Tide was chaotic neutral.
Yeah,
It seems like an easy alignment to start with
It does.
It's the
as
most
a new
natural
D&D
for-
player because you're like,
It's the most natural for
I'm
an
just gonna go
adventurer.
edgy.
Yeah.
And
An
yeah,
adventurer is a person who, skirts the edge of the law for their own gain. Like that's, you know.
Holy heck! How is Lisig not chaotic good though?
That's a good
Mm.
question. I mean, how is she good? She just tried to murder the.
She has her own morality.
no, I think chaotic good does make a lot of sense there though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think I had gotten to the whole like, oh, she steals a lot of stuff before I did that. So
Mhm. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
you can.
yeah.
She can still be neutral good. Like I could see an argument for it, but
Right.
it's up to you.
yeah, you can
Anyways.
everyone. It honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah, we should
Um,
try to make her raise.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, he was gonna roll for his advantage, right?
Yes, that's what he's gonna do. So he's gonna make a Arcana here.
Hey, can I use my
So he also he just gets a 12, right? So neither of you are gonna have better.
No, can I use the fact that I have literally books about weapons on my person? Can I just like read them and get reroll?
No. I mean, so that wouldn't be for the Arcana.
What? How would that not be for Arcana?
Because this is about history. The books that would be helpful here would
You
be
just
the
you
history.
just put on
Oh.
Encyclopedia of Magical Weapons. Well, let me see how many magical
No.
weapons I know of.
No.
Hey.
No.
See.
it's his own journals.
Yeah, it's my own journals.
I mean, yeah. Do you want to
This is
consult
stuff I
them
gathered.
beforehand, right?
Yeah.
As preparation. I mean, yeah.
He's just like reading over all of them while the beer's being made.
Yeah. I mean, so you literally have like you've spent gold on these journals and things, or
Right.
you get them with your background or whatever. So yeah, you can just take advantage, I think, on this roll. Naturally, like the history roll, because like you literally have, that's all of your notebooks are for this. The only thing they're for.
If he was gonna have an advantage anyways, should he not have spent his inspiration on that roll to get advantage?
I mean, we could have come up with something else. We could have been like, you get a +3 or something, right? That's also
Right. Well, I'm just saying because it was a waste of inspiration if he was gonna get free advantage. So can he have advantage or inspiration for later? Is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thanks, David.
Okay. So I definitely like that flashback happening before this, though, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that flashback is. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's good.
So yeah, go ahead and make your roll. So you have advantage.
Nice.
Holy.
Whoa.
Nice.
So he critted. He would have
Both
critted. Well, he didn't.
But I
So
critted
he didn't have
better.
advantage though on this.
Right.
So,
And, yeah, you did better anyways. But,
but
yeah,
yeah, no, you would have.
there was no crit on his side.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude,
yeah.
wrecked him. God.
No,
So-
dude, I like just start spouting crap off.
I feel like he tells you what ones he's seen, and you're like, no, dude, those are knockoffs. They weren't even real.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yeah.
Yes. So he says Excalibur, Robin Hood's bow.
No.
and-
Yeah. I think this Robin Hood's bow is
Yeah.
the one specifically, Connor, that you point
Yeah,
to.
you're like, that's not even magical, idiot.
Yeah, like then you're like, no, Robin Hood didn't have a magical bow. Everyone just thinks he did.
Oh,
He just
yeah.
had really good
Just
archery
the
skills.
Yep. What he
wasn't the
really
bow that
had was a
magical, it
magical
was Robin
sword.
Hood.
No, what I say is that he had. Wait, that's what I know, right?
What?
That's what we decided. Is that he actually had a magical sword, though?
His
He-
magical sword has a +% global accuracy
no,
rating.
I remember what it was.
Yeah,
No,
you remember
so-
what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and say what he says then.
And what part of the conversation? So, oh yeah, I guess yeah, Robin. Okay, so he says,
Can you tell me the exact magical properties of Robin Hood's bow?
Hubert smiles. Robin Hood didn't have a magical bow.
yeah, his eyes widen. He's waiting for an explanation.
Oh,
He's
I
not just
see.
gonna take that. Like,
Oh, I see. Yeah, no. Robin Hood just had great magical artistic. Goodness gracious. Robin Hood just had absolutely spectacular bow abilities. Yes, but it was all skill and talent, and nothing to do with magic. But near the end of his life, he did seek after some sort of magical weapon. And in fact, he looked after Sword Clandentus. That was the sword that he looked after towards the end of his life. He spent the last 5 years searching for it. Nevertheless, he never found it.
technically, the thing we had made up, Connor, was that he was searching for Excalibur.
Oh. Oh, yeah. So Excalibur. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he started looking for Excalibur near the end of his life. He spent the last 5 years of his life searching for it, hoping that one day he would be able to attain it and take true rights over the noblemen and force them to bend
No, right.
to-
That was literally the
and
thing.
give money
He
to
was
them.
like, if I can get Excalibur, like, I literally am the king of England, so, like, I can solve all this.
I can just take money from the nobles legally.
Exactly.
It's the only thing better than stealing illegally.
Yeah, and that was the thing that brought Robin Hood down. That's the thing destroyed what he had built, was that he became obsessed with Excalibur and then
that's cool.
just literally, like, went insane.
Made a gamble
Yep.
and failed, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so
and then I start spouting off stuff.
right.
Okay. So there's the Frogrark, the sword of the god of the seas, Manan Maclear, and later Lug, an Irish legend. Caladbolg, the two-handed sword of Fergus MacRoich. Moraltak.
Are you just, like, on a Wikipedia page?
Highly lethal sword of what the crap, Caleb. A highly lethal sword belonging to Angus, which left no stroke or blow unfinished at the first trial. Aeogus eventually gave to his foster son, Diarmud Uat de Bune,
Are you reading out of your
a
journal?
sword of less power. The Bagel Talk, Little Fury.
No, he just memorized it while you was
Yeah.
Brewing.
That's why it sounds like he's reading it, because he's...
Clarence, King Arthur's Sword of Peace, also known as the Coward's Blade, as it is the sword Mordred, his son, stole and later used to kill King Arthur. Cardwennin, King Arthur's dagger, sometimes described as the shroud the user in shadow.
So I like the idea...
Shield of King Arthur, which is my most sought after magic weapon, if I do say so myself.
I like the idea that Ulrich just rambles on until eventually we're like, all right, shut up, you win.
No, literally, it
Wait,
just
no, what about Durendal? The indestructible sword of Roland! Canonically, the sword of Oliver! Join me soon, Ptolemy's personal sword of vengeance for all foes present!
yeah. So that happens.
So good.
Yeah, he concedes defeat.
I think we just won, didn't we? Because
yes.
now we have two...
Because I won 2.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've automatically won.
Nice. But I
so-
still want to see.
Well, I mean, so this is the thing. I think Nesta, she looks at you, Erastus, and she says,
Well, it looks like you've already gotten 2 out of 3. 3 out of 4, actually. But, well, I'm still curious. Can you tell a good enough lie? Do you want to throw it all on the table here? I'll let you walk away with everything in this village if you can beat me in a game of wits.
Lysing's interested.
Oof, that's a lot of stuff. Garbage charisma.
We'll leave the village to you.
Ulrich says, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah,
does that also mean
Lysing's just like, do it.
Yeah, I think he says, does this also mean that we can leave the village freely? Not
she
much use
thinks
in
about
having
that for a
everything
moment. Yeah, she thinks about that for a moment. She's like,
Yeah, I don't think I'll get in too much trouble if we let you leave, so sure.
Wonderful. What's the worst that could happen?
There's a lot of bad things that could happen, potentially.
Yeah.
But,
and then, but she says
That's a
though,
bad
she says,
Remember though, if you lose everything. And you have to stay here for all eternity. I mean, you already had to do that, but... or at least until Oberon just lets you go.
Seems fair. Seems fair.
okay, yeah. So she starts like pacing around the table, thinking about this, and she says, so the 3 statements that she makes, I think this is what she does. She paces around for a little while and then flies up onto your shoulder.
Okay.
And she's kind of like just looking at you, and she says,
All right. Here are my 3 statements. One of them is a lie, and 2 of them are truths. 1.
that's the lie. That's the lie.
okay, I'm actually really into that idea, so...
But there's no way I would know that, right? Like,
Well, that's the thing. That's why there is a roll, right?
right, but like narratively, how would I? Because even to prove that something isn't a lie, you have to have a second party that can confirm that it's not a lie, right? Because
Well, okay. So I think
could just say
she's
that it
told the truths and the lies already to Sedwin, right? And then how about you've told the truths and the lies to, no, actually, other way around. You've told your truths and the lies to Sedwin, and she's told her truths and lies to, I think, Ulrich
yeah, that's what I said.
Yay!
already.
I'm cool with that. So
Right.
then we already know that that's not the case.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
That would be interesting though.
It seems like a Fae thing to do, but also I
Yeah.
don't feel like there's a narrative way that we could figure that
Exactly.
out.
Yeah. So what she says is right. Like there's 3 statements here. One is a lie and 2 are truths. She says,
1. Gods can die. 2.
no, I have to think about the other ones.
Well, I died, so clearly that's
Wow. She says, so gods can die. She says,
I think I'm gonna go to another Orange Julia, so by the time I get back, I'm all.
I'm trying to think of.
Not back by the time we need Ulrich. I'm just gonna stab him.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because the thing is,
That's
like,
okay.
she's
I'll
more
break
clever.
break.
She's more clever than I am in real life. So,
That's fine. We can just roll if you want.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in actually saying these statements.
Right? No, yeah, I am too. I'm trying to think too.
Right. So let's see here. Okay, yeah, she says.
Fae, no, I'm sorry, not Fae. Sprites are good liars should be one of the statements.
Okay, so she says.
1.
That's Jack.
Gods can die. 2.
Because I want to use that as the third one, but I'm trying to think of the second one.
Right? I know. Yeah.
I mean, these questions are usually things about themselves, right? She could say something about herself, and I would have to determine whether or not I think that was a logical statement. That most of mine are that way, like personal stuff that they'd have.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Oswald, maybe. Or what the
Oswald?
heck is his name?
Gwalter?
Oberon?
No.
Oberon?
Yeah.
I was like, who? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so she says.
1. Gods can die. 2. Lord Oberon is seeking a new position in life. And 3. Sprites are very good liars.
What a conundrum.
So, are we gonna have her roll deception and me roll insight?
Yes, but I'm going to hear yours first.
Okay. So yeah, he just nods a little bit, and this is very interesting. Well, here are my three lies. Yeah, here we go.
Here are my 3 lies. They're all lies. Sorry.
I'm a better lie. I only lie.
I can tell more lies than you can. That means I win, right?
Yep. My family wants.
Yeah, so she like
to die.
sits on your shoulder, right? And
Yeah.
like puts a hand like on your neck, just kind of like looking up at you.
Is she reading my emotions?
I mean,
Hey,
Erastus
hands
certainly doesn't know anything about
Hands up.
what sprites can or cannot do.
Good thing this isn't about emotion. Yes, my family once advised the Emperor of Rome, and I think we get a little because I want inspiration too. We get a flashback of like golden-skinned people with long, like black hair standing next to like,
Yeah.
a seat.
Nice.
And I think they're actually marching towards this like territory. Like I think we see the town that we're from, which is
Nottingham.
Nottingham. Yeah, I think we see Nottingham, like an ancient Nottingham, and then there's like Isamar centurions marching down the like hills towards Nottingham,
Nice.
and then says the 3 of us, and he points to Ulrich and names
Donan.
and says the 3 of us grew up together, and finally, and then I think we see another like flashback of, and this is I think the first time this has happened as like a statement in the show. So we see the 3 of them just sort of in Nottingham. They're probably like hitting each other with sticks or something dumb. There's probably like the old wizard in the distance, like messing with them, like casting like
Right.
whatever in there. Yeah, like what happens is we see the 3 kids are like they're all like 10 years old, and they all have massive suits of like plate armor and swords. But they're all just illusions. They're wearing like paper bags and sticks.
Right. And Quell is like giving you illusionary armor. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's like little
Cute.
illusionary skeletons we kill. Yeah. And then last was
Best uncle ever.
and last was I was delivered by an Ottoman dragonborn midwife, I guess it would be. Is that how that works? And we see another flashback of not a dragonborn,
Right.
just his fallen Asimar parents, like standing over, or one standing over the other, obviously, as he's born.
Cool. Awesome.
So that's the lie.
That's the lie. Yes.
So David, would you make a charisma saving throw for me?
No.
All right, well, you die.
Okay. I come back to life again.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm
Wait,
sorry,
okay.
what?
You have +2 more dexterity.
So your
Just
uncle.
kidding.
Oh.
6.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh. Okay, so what it is so you've just
I got a
she
crit,
fails
I
to
hope.
read your thoughts basically, right,
Yeah.
with like her heart sight
Heart
thing. And so she looks kind of frustrated as you tell your two truths and a lie, and she's just like, "Oh, I thought I had a trick, but I failed."
You said she lands on her shoulder, and I was like,
I knew that you as David knew this. Yeah.
yeah.
No, hold up. So your uncle advised the emperor?
No, my like great grandparents did. This is back in like Caesar Rome times.
What were
So
you talking about with your uncle with armor and illusion?
No,
No,
that
no,
was
I
that
said
was
uncle
Columbius.
because Quell would have been your
Yeah.
guys' fake
he was
uncle.
the one giving us the illusions when we were kids to make us look like knights while we fought and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
oh yeah, I forgot that we grew up together.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, now I think that was the first time that was like a statement in the show, so that's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
tried to make it more than just a statement.
Mhm.
Give it an image. Anyways, so then how do we want to do the rolls? Do we just want to do one exchange? Because there's technically a deception and an insight, or do we want to just do deception or what?
Yeah, I think there's
I have the same bonus to both, so I don't really care. Either way.
I mean, yeah, it would have to be. Well, I'm trying to think how do we know who wins here? Like in the actual like logistics of this.
You mean narratively?
Right, like what happens like narratively, like what would happen if two people did this and they both succeeded?
Oh right.
Would you just do it again?
Probably. I feel like probably.
Okay, so let's do it like that. Let's do
No.
What?
I want to make so you guys both got it right?
No, we haven't.
no,
done
we
it
haven't
yet.
done anything yet.
Oh.
We're wondering what happens if we get it right.
Oh, okay. Well, if you guys get it right, I'm gonna roll an Arcana check to see if I realized that the sprite was doing the magic thing on
Okay.
him, and I'm gonna call him out for cheating.
Okay, so let's just roll. So let's roll. I'm gonna roll a deception for her first because she was the one who told the lie first,
Right.
and then you can roll
Insight.
insight. Yeah.
Okay.
And vice versa.
So now, do we have to win both of the? Because, or yeah, okay.
Right. Well, yeah. We'll just see how it shakes out.
Okay.
So she got a 20.
Holy crap.
All right. I'm trying to think if I want to waste inspiration on this because I feel like I'm probably not going to get a 20.
You only do inspiration a certain amount of times per session?
No, I only have it once though. Right now,
What do you mean?
I only have the one inspiration, and I'm going to make 2 rolls because I have to lie next.
Oh, so you can't just take up another flashback and
You good?
I mean, I made 3 flashbacks, but they were all really short, so I figured. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if it's worth it.
To be fair, seeing your own birth isn't exactly a flashback so much as it is post-cognition.
That's, I mean, wait, yeah, but the flashbacks aren't meant to be necessarily like
Actually
memories.
remembering. Yeah.
I think they're more for the
Audience.
audiences. Shoot. I'll just use inspiration. Why not? Didn't need to, but all right.
Oh wow.
I got double 22s. That's
Okay.
ridiculous. If only I did that when I was trying not to die horribly.
So you can tell that the oh, this ice is cold.
Yes, it
that's
tends
what
to do
cold
that.
does.
Yeah.
You might almost say it's icy. Anyways, hey,
That wasn't even funny.
Hey, what's
I know. Was this supposed to?
It wasn't funny at all.
Crap.
So
Hey, what's colder than cold?
Yes.
Ice cold.
Great. Anyways,
okay, anti-jokes all here. Okay.
Yep.
You can
r/comedy cemetery.
wrecked.
definitely.
You can tell that the
Being Reddit
lie
standard disclaimers
is
apply. Being Reddit standard disclaimers apply. May not always be safe for work.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? I realized I said it wrong. She probably actually she probably says gods can't die.
Oh well, I mean, Don't gods die all the time in Greek myth?
They do.
So I don't believe that already. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So never mind. It would have been
But
the other way
did the
around.
gods
Then.
really die though? The Titans were certainly like chopped to
Well, at
pieces
the
and stuff,
end-
but I don't think the gods died.
Well, yeah. I mean, they don't die, I guess, during the myth, but at the end.
So what is the lie?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to remember what. I might have phrased these wrong.
I thought the last one was the lie.
Well,
That's
I
a
mean,
nice
she would. The thing is, she wouldn't tell that as the lie because she thinks that she's a good liar, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right, but sprites aren't. That's the trick.
okay, yeah, no,
Humans
I
are
think that makes
liars,
sense.
sprites
Yeah,
aren't. Yeah. Gods.
But-
that was
Well,
one
that's
thing I
the
was
thing
thinking.
is-
I was just trying to think of the most clever.
That's like that's a generalization, though. It can't be really like it's kind of a subjective. Like, how would you know if that was true? You can't take a poll, and even if you could, whose criteria would you use?
Who would self-report that yes, I am bad at lying?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
That's
Is it
that's
a
hard-
lie? And does that make him good at lying?
No, okay, so I think what it is. So going back to the Greek gods can die thing. I mean, yeah, I don't think. What were you saying about that, David?
I mean, I was actually thinking of Norse mythology where they all die at the end. I don't actually know what the
No,
Greek
yeah, I don't think the Greek gods actually die.
They don't really. I don't think they die much in the mythology, but they might die at the end of their mythology, which is what I couldn't remember. Like
I don't think there is any sort of end to Greek mythology.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
Not
have
like
no.
Ragnarok
I
or
read all the
whatever,
Percy
yeah.
Jackson
What are you
books,
guys
so
talking
I have
about?
practically a
So-
PhD in Greek mythology. And
I
as
don't
far
know.
as I know, there's no concept of Ragnarok or
No,
Final
there isn't.
Judgment with the Greeks.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
You guys kidding me?
Okay, so
But
yeah,
then-
so what she actually says,
But then,
gods.
I mean, like Jesus
yeah.
died, right? Which is
Hey.
probably why Connor's freaking out. And then also,
Wait, what?
like, I mean, he came back obviously, but and then
No, guys, we've all played Asian mythology. Caleb, you've beaten the campaign. It comes
Yeah.
to an end.
this isn't Age of Mythology.
But gods can't. What
but
I'm trying to get at here is I think there is a perception in the universe, in this world, that gods can't die.
Okay, all right. Well, because I was gonna say
Okay.
even if Greek gods don't die, then Norse gods all die at the end of time. So even still,
Right, but at the end of time,
But-
right? Like,
yeah, but that's still dying. I die at the end of my life. That doesn't
so
make
the
it
lie-
die.
So she says.
She said gods can die, so that was the
Gods
lie.
can die. Oh, that's an obvious lie then, because that's something.
right, but that's why I said I phrased it wrong because, and this is the issue of doing this without. I just didn't really honestly think about
It's
it.
off the top of your head.
Yeah,
It's fine.
right. She's more clever than I am, and so I think what it would be is there's a general perception that like gods die, but they don't really die. Any sort of death in any like gods thing, it's just like reincarnation. Like they just come back, sort of a thing. It's
right.
not that.
Well, I mean, Greek mythology,
so
they just
in-
go to Hades.
So when she says that gods can die, he thinks, "Oh, yes, because of blank and blank and blank," and she's like, "Well, they didn't actually die." Though.
Well, no. Okay. I was
Except that I won,
trying to
sorry.
get across a cool like lore point here.
Yeah,
So
I had a feeling that's where you're going.
right, what I'm trying to get across here is she said. Okay, so she says gods can't die, and that
Right.
is the lie.
Okay.
So Erastus, you've been like everyone in this world is normally under the impression that gods can't die.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing, though. I would assume that she's also under that impression. So even though she's wrong, wouldn't that still make it the truth because she thinks it is? Like, that would be a bad pick because I would assume that she would think that was the truth, even if I know it wasn't. Right?
No.
Why she's a good liar.
You just said
Right.
it was generally assumed that gods can't die.
Right, exactly.
I would
Well,
assume that she's assuming that.
that's why she would say it, is because she knows something that she obviously thinks that you don't. That's what I'm getting
Okay.
across.
All right, I see.
Right.
Well, I mean, I rolled well, so I figured it out somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Steve, for not making me have a real reason.
Also, no, the Greeks did not have a concept of Ragnarok.
Good to know.
Right. So yeah, what we see, right, is you realize this, Erastus. You're like, okay, she's lying about gods not being able to die. So that's weird.
I'm looking up now if any Greek gods can actually die.
Well, because this is the thing. I mean, I think anyone can. So, because I think the main reason that people believe this as a normal thing, is that there are clerics for literally every god in existence still casting cleric magic. You can literally just be like, I serve Raw now, and then you can just cast spells from Raw.
Well,
That's a
this is
thing.
the thing. Like in most mythologies, even if you die, you just go somewhere else. So really, like, yeah, you died, quote unquote, but you're not dead. You're
Well,
just
maybe
somewhere
you
else.
know that, but
Yeah.
like the common.
Well,
Okay,
right,
so
right.
maybe what she
Populous
says is
doesn't.
gods can't be destroyed.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing in Greek mythology is, which is not the only correct mythology in this world, but the reason that they put Atlas under the world instead of just cutting his head off was probably because they can't kill him, right? Like,
Right.
that makes sense. So,
Well,
It
that
was-
and to keep he and Gaia, or to keep, wasn't Atlas supposed to keep Gaia and Uberos apart?
I'm not positive. I mean, it was
Uranus?
just
Yes, no,
part of the
Atlas's
equation.
entire purpose there,
So,
and Atlas is holding up the sky, not the world. If I
mean-
recall. Atlas holds up the sky to prevent Gaia and Uberos from coming together, because the minute that Gaia and Uberos come together, we're gonna have more Titans.
You mean Uranus?
Oranos? Okay, now I'm...
well, I thought that's why they called it an atlas of a map of the Earth, is because he held it.
Yeah.
Here, does Atlas hold up the world of the sky?
Oh, it is
Yeah,
Uranus.
Uranus.
Let's
However
see.
you
Uranus.
pronounce that.
Uranus.
Right, it is the
Uranus.
sky.
Yeah, yeah.
It's confusing because he always has a planet
Uranus
on
and,
his shoulders in the pictures
Roman,
and stuff. But I guess it does say the sky. That's weird.
Oh, so Ouroboros is something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an ancient Egyptian iconographic
I
thing.
thought it sounded familiar, but I knew.
Yeah, I think that's
I played enough Age of Mythology to know to know this.
anyways.
Yeah.
Cool.
Either
So
way.
anyways. Yeah. So the lie is that gods can't die.
Yeah.
right? Okay. I'm not sure how he says this, but yeah. I mean, is this establishing that I know something in some way that I shouldn't typically know? I mean, I'm a paladin. I have a affiliation with
Right.
God.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? I guess I'm confused as to the
I
question.
mean, I'm just still trying to figure out the narrative reason why I would know this.
No, you can just tell that she's lying. Like, you just know
Oh,
humans.
I
You know
see what you-
sentient interaction, so you can tell that
Okay.
she's lying about that thing.
Right.
It's not about knowledge. It's about that's what
I
insight
see.
is about, right? So
Right. Yeah. I just.
you can just tell that she's lying about that thing.
Okay.
She gives a
Um,
tell away.
Yeah. So. I think he just raises an eyebrow at her. He says, "Gods can't die." That's an interesting statement. I don't think you believe that. And then
Right.
he looks over at who did he give? She give her answers to? Ulrich, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks over at Ulrich to see if he was right.
You were right.
Yeah, and he just looks.
Yeah,
towards
and
his
so
friends.
Ulrich, like, it's. I mean, the Fae definitely like said, like, this is my lie. Gods can't die. Like, so that's a little weird. Apparently, she
Yeah.
believes that gods can die somehow.
And yeah, I think he's like, that is an odd thing to pick for your lie, I must say, but he shrugs.
Yeah, I
Suppose
feel like
it's your
Ulrich
turn.
is gonna ask her about this afterwards while they're
Right.
leaving.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she seems pretty miffed, but then she's like, "All right, well, I know your lie," and then we'll roll.
So, should I do another flashback, or how do we want to do this?
Yeah, if you want to get more inspiration, or I guess you did. Yeah, you can just take inspiration if you've already done
Okay.
it. That's fine.
So now I'm doing deception.
Yep.
Okay, I got a 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she failed.
So,
So
interestingly, we can totally retcon your retcon and say that no, in fact, you did not give him the second inspiration,
It's true.
because the first time he would have succeeded either way,
Yep.
and the second time he also
but-
would have succeeded either way. And so we can just say that the inspiration was spent on the first one and not set a bad precedent going forward.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Although, I mean,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately that's just not the way inspiration works. Yeah, you have to
Well,
charge
right.
it and spend it. So
I mean, it's also not the way that linked tests work. That. So.
yeah.
But anyways, I mean, because aren't they?
Linked tests is probably the best thing about Burning Wheel, and I'm really glad that we're doing it here as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's very open-ended, and you could just end up making like tests for eternity, which I'm not a fan of. But it is a nice thing to be able to do.
Well,
But
that's on the GM to say, no, you need to stop now.
I mean, yeah, there's always a
I-
time limit, I'm sure.
I think if we're discretioning it, if we're homebrewing it, I think maybe we just give 1 or 2.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
we just had a lot of times in Burning Wheel where I've done linked tests to get bonus to my linked tests to get bonus to my linked test.
I mean, that's
tests
because
to
you
get
were
bonus to my
playing
test.
Caspian
And
Goldbane,
it's-
and you had...
I mean, yeah. And I mean, it's just that. And normally it works fine, but then sometimes you're just like, what test am I on? I'm confused. Anyways,
So she
okay.
says, your lie is that you once served the Emperor. It's obvious that you're a low Azimar, so you've never been in a position like that. You probably just grew up in the hills somewhere in Italy and made your way here.
he smiles
You get
over
a
at the
life.
other.
I mean,
God,
honestly,
that's
though,
racist.
the truth is honestly a little bit more damning for you, right? Like
Yeah,
that you
Yeah, I don't,
you actually did serve the Emperor, but then you got cast out.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think he just looks over at the other Fae and like sort of gives a
Yeah, and
Smile.
Sedwin just like says,
Corn blossoms.
Language!
Shut up.
not very familiar with the ASMR, are you?
I-
We have. Oh, sorry.
I'm familiar enough.
We have a tendency to change over time. My family did serve the Emperor before we had, or previously when we were still high ASMR. However, I was not delivered by a Dragonborn.
Does everybody else think that too?
I did once you started laughing.
I was waiting for the chuckles to start.
For some reason, it's not weird. when you say
Josh's
Kyle.
reaction was
Were you
made me
right?
laugh.
What were you on?
Yeah, he
Like-
said that
Corn blossoms? Huh?
however, I was not delivered
Corn
by
blossom's a
Dragonborn,
weed.
as one might expect. And yeah, that's
No.
yeah. I mean, because she probably would expect that I was delivered by a Dragonborn because the opposite.
Walked right into that one.
That was pretty funny.
Never mind.
It was pretty contrived, to be perfectly honest.
I did not do that on purpose. Yeah, so she just starts like swearing a whole bunch, and she's just really frustrated.
I just turned to the others and says, "Well, it appears we're rich."
Yeah, Leasing said a deal's a deal. We have everything.
Leasig, someone actually make a persuasion check here.
I'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah, I assume that. Yeah. So what do you
Although
say
now-
though? Because you can obviously
Yeah.
tell that they're very like angry about this.
Right.
Specifically,
Um,
Sedwin and Nesta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of tough luck. They said that. Was,
Right. I mean, but they're fickle fae, so they can attack you if they
Right.
wanted to.
well, no. So yeah, but they would just get just annihilated. They have like the garbage. But anyway.
Wasn't there something about a charisma check and failing it, you die?
No.
No, that was
not-
a joke. That was because I didn't want to make one. I told them I wouldn't make one,
yeah.
and then I got a 26. So,
Hey-oh!
I mean, presumably. Well, I guess okay. This is a question to you, I guess, and I don't know if I would have an answer to this in character, but I mean, if Oberon knew that they'd made this deal and then reneged on it, would he be displeased with that, or would he would he just be like, yeah, just don't do it, just kill them anyways?
I mean, you've gotten. It doesn't seem like Oberon wants you guys dead,
Right.
but it doesn't mean that these fae won't try to kill you.
No, but I'm just
Right,
trying to
that's
see
the-
if I could just be like, well, I mean, we could also just explain to Oberon that you've now.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could use that as an
so-
argument. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think. Well.
So you can see
yeah,
like
so-
Sedwin kind of like testing his bow a little bit, like.
Yeah. I think he says, "Well, I assume Oberon's word or your word, and by extension, Oberon's word is trustworthy. So we will see to our things now." And he heads over towards the room.
I go over to Sedwin and I'm like, so you said that gods can die, huh?
Shut up.
It was a ploy, Ulrich. She was trying to win.
Yeah, and so I think they just start like Sedwin and Nesta just start like flying away, They kind of
Please don't do that. I really want to know.
they get up on the top of the like the little clock tower that Gwalter and the other lady was on, and I think Nesta turns back and she says,
Fine. You can have everything in the village. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Bye.
That means the bad
Does this
stuff,
mean we have
too.
control of your plant people as well then? Thank you.
well, yeah, it means they fly away.
I think as Walter's leaving, Donan raises his mug of Fey ale.
Yeah.
I think because he's been drinking the Fey ale.
Right. Yeah. So
Much.
So they just fly away.
they start
Has
flying
to be
away. Yeah.
intoxicating by volume in order to work, so it's probably quite a bit stronger.
Yeah. So
Everyone make attack of opportunity. Okay.
well, so he yeah, you could. Guess you just like cut them out of the air. That's a thing you can do.
I mean, I think we'd have to draw weapons first, but yeah.
We could roll initiative. That could be a thing. But so what happens? Yeah, Gwalter kind of just does a little salute at you, Donan, and he says,
Sorry we aren't leaving on better terms. We might see you around, though.
If I'm in town, I'll look you up for. Sorry, when you're next in town, look me up for a drink.
I would love that. Hope you don't die in the meantime.
So
He just
they
nods.
flitter out the window.
Ulrich calls after them.
I could cast Thunder Wave.
I mean, they've already told us we now have to kill all the people.
15-foot cube around myself. Never mind. I'd probably knock y'all out instead. Can you guys take 2d8 thunder damage?
I can't.
I mean, I have 12 health, so well, there's a save, right? It's a dex save, right? I assume. Because I could probably make a dex save, and then I'd only take half of that.
It looks like it's not
What
a
is
save.
DC 13 dex save probably? Oh, con save? Oh, I guess you probably can't get out of the way of that.
Con save, yeah.
I'm slightly less good at that, but
Yeah, it's a con save.
yeah, okay.
I could just
Wait,
go, and cost a 15-foot cube of thunder damage.
So what did they
That's
say
awesome.
about killing humans? What did they say before they left?
Nothing. They said we could have everything. And they
Which meant
like,
all
I
of
mean,
the
everything.
plant monster things.
Yeah.
That they left.
Oh.
behind.
Crap.
Yeah, and so obviously what happens is they fly out the window, and then the vines that have been like creeping everywhere just suddenly come to life and attack you guys as the last.
Corpulent,
Wow.
capricious buffoons.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they're Fey. What do you expect?
Lisa's like, I just want my stuff.
Exactly.
Corpulent.
So let's go ahead and take. Let's go ahead and take one more break.
Poltroons with anemic muscles.
And when we return, we'll fight some awakened vines
Logistics of their quick sonic
and hear some more colorful epithets from Ulrich.
Oh my gosh.
We'll be right back.